G.I. Joe wants to know any update on Caleb Marple. I was on vacation. I saw that one of the TV stations here ran a news story on Charlie's friend who was found dead in a river. What'd you think of the story, Charlie?
It was interesting, very interesting. They showed the security camera footage of the people walking in right after beating up Caleb, and just walking with blood dripping off of them from because they were beating this guy up so bad. So that was very interesting. And I think things are happening. So you better, if you know something, now would be the time to start talking, or you're going to end up going down with the ship.
That's what Charlie said like a month ago.
I did. No, I said it actually. I said it a week ago, and then some people have started saying things.
Oh yeah.
So it is working. So
Flatitude, did you recognize the people in the video?
I haven't seen the video.
Oh, we could show it to you.
I'm all right, thanks. I had to do some major damage control that weekend. Nobody will talk to me at all now when I go out.
What do you mean no one will talk to you?
Nobody will talk to me because
I had so many emails of Flatitude. One was a police officer who is furious with Flatitude and just thinks he's the biggest piece of garbage in the world.
Yeah, what else new?
Because Flatitude apparently had some information that he wasn't sharing.
I didn't. Why do you keep saying that I have information?
what are you looking at me for?
I looked like you were trying to do something in there.
No, I'm not. No.
Oh, your hand was flying all over. Oh.
No, it was normal hand movement.
Charlie said you had information.
No, I didn't. You said that. Don't say this to me.
Who told you?
Charlie.
Well, that's a lie. You read it from the police report.
No, that's not true. I asked if he knew anyone involved,
and then he started.
And he said yes.
Then he just started talking,
and then
what happened?
Then he said that same person that he knew might have been involved with some other things going on that night, right? So what do you mean no one will talk to you now?
No, just they think that it'll come out on the air. Anything that anybody tells me about anything ever is just automatically going to be broadcast to the masses. So nobody wants to talk to me now.
Well, they just don't like you.
Oh, yeah.
So who isn't talking to you?
Just people that are out because they're like, I feel like I can't tell you anything about anything because
well,
apparently
as long
you'll
as
just
they're
go
not
on the
murdering
radio and
anyone.
laugh about everything.
Yeah, where they put the body?
It's really the murder that we're worried about.
Yeah, like we don't care if your buddy banged some slut. Like,
Yeah, who
big
cares?
deal.
Or smoke some weed or
Yeah.
something. Nobody's worried about that. It's the murder mostly.
Yeah, who isn't talking specifically?
No, nobody. Because I told you that my buddy that was in that other altercation, the alleged one, I don't even know what happened. He said that the stuff that I said on the show ended up not even really being true. That was when he texted me and I said that he talked to the prosecutor and he's just like, oh, you don't even know what's going on and you're telling all these, they think these are facts now. You don't even know what's going on. I'm like, you're right. I don't know what's going on. All the more reason for me to not talk about it.
You should ask him for some info.
You said there's nothing to know.
Show him the video so see if he knows any of those people.
No, I'm not interested in seeing the video.
Are you kidding?
Oh, I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he knows every one of them.
So the people in the video got in the fight? Is that what you're saying, Charlie? That's what they think?
Oh, I didn't see it yet.
They know.
Oh.
They know for sure.
I didn't see that either.
I forgot to watch it. We have it?
Yeah. Here,
I got it right. I could put it up right here.
Play it off of there.
I got it right here.
His disappearance led to a search for answers. Even after Caleb Marple's body was found in the Cuyahoga River and his death ruled a drowning, more questions surfaced. Tonight, in a 3 News exclusive, investigator Rachel Polanski tracks down never-released-before surveillance video showing the Westlake man's final hours and a trail of blood that might lead to clues as to what happened to him.
There's a lot of people that know more than they're saying. I mean, that's obviously from what we've already been able to obtain.
It began as a typical night for Caleb Marple, hanging out with a few friends, downing a couple drinks, all wrapped around a lot of laughs. Until midnight. That's when things went haywire.
Just the not knowing is like what's hard.
An ordinary night spun into a missing persons investigation, ending 11 days later in death.
I think it's just been hard because we don't have a lot of answers. It's just been trying to piece that night and the next morning, together ourselves.
3 News Investigates has obtained video surveillance tracking much of Marple's final hours. At the Barley House on West 6th, cameras show Marple talking with friends, but eventually drinking to the point that he's asked to leave. 1 minute after midnight, he walks out alone. His cell phone was accidentally left in a car hours earlier. Within 15 minutes, he's outside the Archer Apartments on West 9th Street. That's where he has a confrontation with a group of people. Whatever happened was swift but bloody. Video cameras don't capture an assault, but they do show a man walking away, blood dripping from his hand. Witnesses initially said Marple was merely pushed. Later, a woman admitted he was, quote, body slammed. Afterward, Marple is seen crossing the Center Street Bridge towards Shooter's nightclub on the West Bank. He's never seen alive again. On May 29th, his body is pulled from the Cuyahoga River. Police in Westlake and Cleveland ended their investigation, and with no obvious signs of trauma, an autopsy ruled his death as an accidental drowning, a ruling Marple's family cannot easily accept. So they hired private investigator Rob Slattery to pick up where police left off.
I think that the people involved had far more knowledge of what exactly happened to Caleb.
And adding to the intrigue were comments later made to police by a witness in the Archer confrontation. He told officers, quote, "I don't know where they put his body."
The guy that just goes out for the night to have fun with his friends, ends up having some sort of altercation.
Right, there's a documented altercation that took place outside, and then, somebody ends up dead.
Wow.
In the eyes of the Cleveland police, the Caleb Marple case is closed. But to the 39-year-old's family, the case is very much ongoing. If you want to take a closer look at those exclusive videos you just saw in my report, you can head on over to our website. That's WKYC.com. Rachel Polanski, 3 News.
So how many people did you know in that story, in that surveillance video?
I couldn't barely even recognize him.
That one
The
guy
guy's
walking,
going up the stairs.
I could barely
There's
even
3.
recognize him. So how many did you recognize?
No, I'm saying it looks like just a bunch of generic dudes and a bunch of generic chicks. You can't see their faces at all.
Well, they're blurred out.
No, the guy purposefully puts his head down because he doesn't want to be on the camera, doesn't he? Is that
Here,
the
you
guy
want
that's
to you want to see
bleeding?
that part again?
Yeah,
Hold on.
Is that the guy that's bleeding the blood?
Here
Okay,
it
yeah,
is.
so
Hold on. Here you go.
him right there
There
with
you
the
go.
white shirt.
There
he
you go.
puts his head down. Is he? He's the one that's bleeding.
All right. So which of those guys or girls do you know?
Attitude's not looking for some reason.
You know those chicks with the 4 chicks there?
Huh. Nick says we need Scott Taylor on the case. Clean up.
He actually called and put us in contact with that PI.
Oh, did he really?
Yes.
So he's actually involved in the case, in a way.
Violation.
Scott Taylor.
And that place was dead.
What are you yelling about?
Who's yelling?
If you look at that bar footage,
Yep.
there's not that many people in there.
Yeah.
No. So they have to. Anybody that was out that night has to know everybody.
And there was some sort of altercation in that bar. Why didn't they show us that part? That's on video.
Yeah, isn't he kind of putting his arm around the guy, and the guy's trying to pushing him off?
No, I don't think that's the altercation part.
Okay.
I don't think.
Line
And
one,
he
Rover.
walked out of the bar. There was nobody on the whole street.
Right. It's empty. I mean, it was a
Right.
Sunday night at midnight.
So, but
And
Monday
the bars
off.
were all closed.
But
But
that was
Monday we had off.
I know, but the bars were all still.
that was
no
the
one
first
going
bar that
out.
was open.
Yeah.
Like no other bars were open.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong?
Well, people. Todd says that we now have to change Flatitude, who's always wanted to go by Matitude. We now have to change his name to Murdertude.
Ratitude.
Gosh.
Because he's a rat.
Ratitude.
Funny.
Rob is the private investigator who you saw in that news story there, and he's investigating this case. Rob, good morning. How are you, my man?
Good morning. How are you?
So I'm doing well. So have you learned anything? You know, anytime you get a on the news or something, sometimes some tips come in. Have you learned anything since this aired a week or so ago?
Well, we actually have gotten quite a bit of contact from people. I won't go into names or anything like that, but people are starting to come forward. With the blessing we have with having your show air all this and draw so much attention to it, and also the news story. We did get a call from a party who was there and actually admitted that he heard the next day that Caleb was dead, which is pretty telling.
Because he was missing. Well, let's not forget.
There's conversation that he's dead 11 plus days before his body was even located.
Interesting.
So, yeah, because he went missing, and nobody knew what happened to him for, well, I guess 11 days, where everybody's, I'm at a search party looking for his body, and then this person said the next day he heard he was murdered. So, people are talking.
Now, someone sent me a G.I. Joe says, look at the tweet I sent you. I'm just going to read the text. I don't know. Maybe he sent a tweet. He says, the guy that hit him is also seen in the bar footage. So I'm sure we already know that. I mean, I think they know who he got in the altercation with. But apparently the same guy in that video is also in the was across the street in the bar. Is that the best of your knowledge, Rob?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, I'm still, he did walk away, spotted on video, walking a pretty significant distance away from this by himself, or at least we think it was by himself, don't we? If something happened to him where these guys went and they got him again or whatever, they would have had to go find him, right? They would have had to go all the way down to the west bank of the flats. It's a little ways away. It's just, it's not an easy thing. Do you think that that's a plausible scenario?
I actually do. The way that some of the videotaped interviews that we have, the parties that are involved in the altercation know this area very well.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they by their own admission, they've been, the way they're talking in these interviews, they have extremely developed knowledge of that area. It sounds like they've been hanging down there and working in that area, probably in multiple places for quite a few years.
Mm-hmm. So your hypothesis is that they left and they got him again and threw him in the river, killed him and put him in the river?
Correct.
All right. That's, I'm still going to need some more convincing. I think we got to get some more evidence on that. Obviously, that's what Rob is working on. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Sure.
How long have you been doing this, Rob?
I've been a licensed investigator for almost 11 years, and I had 14 years on the police department prior to that.
So
if he thinks something stinks, it stinks.
That would be 25 years by my math, I think. About 25
well, I'm not
years
smart
of
enough to do that, but yes.
And if you were a betting man, Rob, would you bet that something nefarious happened to him, or would you bet that he just fell into the river and drowned?
No, I believe that foul play was involved, and I believe that we're getting close. I think that there's too many moving parts here to keep this quiet, and someone will come forward with that piece of the puzzle that's going to help this family get justice.
Now, what do you think of my phone screener just clamming up and not providing information that we know that he has? What a terrible person he is, right?
I believe that it's troubling, to say the least. If somebody knows something, even if they think it's small, they should come forward with it, because it could be a big piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, even if I don't
like
know anything.
Yes, that's right.
Whoa.
You have to, platitude you have to say.
Don't talk back to him?
Yeah.
You have to say, you have to call and say, I don't know anything.
All right, count this as the call. I don't know anything.
Flatitude's really getting all crazy, all bent out of shape. Look at him. He's going nuts.
Yeah, because you're trying to wrap me
You're
into
in the hot
this, saying
seat.
that I
You're
know
in the
stuff.
hot seat now. You said you knew stuff.
I never said that once. You keep saying that.
Make a statement.
You said that you knew a guy who was involved in an altercation with the same people the
and
same
then it
night.
turned out that everything I said wasn't true.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Okay.
You're lying right now. So that guy was not involved with in an altercation with these same group of people.
I don't know what happened.
Well, if you don't know, how could you tell me it's not true?
Because people keep saying stuff in passing, and then they double back and go, oh, wait, actually, that's not true.
What were you saying, Rob?
I can swing by the station and talk to you.
Yes.
All right, perfect.
What time are you available today?
You tell me. I can be there in about 25 minutes.
That works.
Well, Flatitude leaves in 5 minutes, so maybe we'll schedule it for tomorrow. And
during the show,
I wanted to come in. Last Monday, but he called in sick, from what I was told.
During the show.
We could do it during the show.
Question him.
Probably hook him up to you have a polygraph machine, don't you, Rob?
We have a polygraph technician, absolutely.
That'd be
All right,
awesome.
I like this, yes.
Oh.
We'll strap Flatitude into the polygraph and start grilling him about all sorts of things.
Oh, yeah.
Forget even the Caleb Marple case.
Homeschooling? Is that true?
all of it. We'll get to the bottom of it all. All right, but in all seriousness, Rob,
is there a reward out for
I think you're making some progress, it sounds like.
Is that after?
I believe we are gaining some ground. As far as a reward, there is not one at this time, but there has been discussions to make that a possibility in the coming days. But I at this point, I think like I said, we're gaining ground. We're gathering information. More people are coming forward. We're constantly getting text messages, private messages, and voicemails. We are moving in the right direction. I am confident that we will figure this out.
What happens so the police have closed the case? I mean, it's just, to them, it's done. But then you find some huge piece of evidence to prove that, no, there was foul play. What goes on then?
Yeah.
Because if the police say it's done...
my point would be is we would either go to the county sheriff's department and ask them to take it over because they have jurisdiction, or we could go to BCI and ask them to become involved.
Okay. So it wouldn't be over. Like, it wouldn't just be like, hey, you know that there's foul play, and that's it. But somebody else would take over the case.
We're not just spinning our wheels and trying to kill time. We are definitely goal-oriented to get this back open, change the cause of death to, at minimum, undetermined, and that would help open the case back up.
All right. Rob, how can people contact you if they have any information on this case?
My number is 216-906-2577.
All right. I just saw Flatitude programming that number into his phone. He's adding you as a speed dial.
He blocked it.
Rob, I appreciate it. Good luck to you. Keep us up to date with what's going on. And thank you, my man. All right, I do have to wrap everything up. What do you have coming up on the aftermath, Charlie?
We're going to talk about Doogie getting tested for COVID, even though she didn't have any symptoms. Is it worse to kill a guy if he's suicidal? And we'll talk about the guy that got fired for crapping at work, and, of course, the Ratitude. All that and more coming up on the aftermath.
All right. You can watch or listen live there on the website. Sign up for Plus there. Or with the Rover Radio app. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Have a great day. It's Rover's Morning Glory. Bye.
Rover's Morning Glory.